Hanging Lake is located in Glenwood Canyon, about 7 miles east of Glenwood Springs, Colorado. The lake elevation at the top is 7,323 feet. Now you have to have reservations, and permits are required to go in and hike up to the Hanging Lake. And that's what I wanted to do. They only allow 16 people to go in every 3 hours to do the hike, because they say it takes about 3 hours to do the hike and they don't want to overcrowd the trail. Now you have to hike it yourself. There are no other way to do it. And honestly, I found out once I got started that it was 1,000 feet straight up. It is not recommended for kids or for the elderly, but actually I didn't know that, and I thought, well, a 3-hour hike, I can make that easily. Okay, good morning again. We're out here where we're staying at Glenwood Springs, and it's a beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm going to turn the camera around here. And I had little Sam with me this morning, and we're going to take a little walk out here. So come on, Sam, let's go. Yes, Sam, good morning. Okay, we're headed down to the turnoff, exit 125, to get off of the highway or the interstate to go to the Hanging Lake, where I'm going to take a little hike today. And this is the day it opens, supposedly, so we hope that we can get in there. It's been closed because of the runoff, and there was still too much water on the trail and probably some snow left and ice, I don't know. But anyway, we're headed down that way, and I'm excited to go on the hike today. I'm going to film as much of it as I can, the beauty of this country, which is gorgeous here. Right now we're just traveling along the beautiful Colorado River, and it's really, really full, and it is flowing and rushing down here. And the canyon walls are absolutely beautiful here. I don't know if you can see some of that. There's a lot of sun. We're going right into the sun. I'm going to start the hike at 9 o'clock, so it'll be pretty early. And they only let so many people go on this hike at one time, and you have to get a reservation to go. I want you to see the beautiful Colorado River. It's flowing quite rapidly right now. This is a deep canyon, beautiful canyon. 125, Hanging Lake. It's 3/4 of a mile. We're almost there. And I think along in this area somewhere on this interstate was where they had the mudslides and things a while back that really washed things into the river. There's quite a bit of destruction with the flooding. Now, I can't take the dog on the hike with me. Pets are not allowed. They have a lot of regulations. Everything that goes in with you must come out with you. There are no bathrooms on the trail, and this kind of thing, so you want to be prepared. Supposedly it's going to take about 3 hours to go around the round trip on this little hike. We have to check in here. Here's where we're going to park right now. And we just got the information. There's other people ready to go for the hike. We're going to park right here. Okay. Okay, I'm here now ready to take this hike and go down here. So it's good morning, it's a beautiful day, and I'm ready to go. There are restrooms here if I need them, but I don't need the restrooms. This is a nice place to go. Here's the Colorado River right there. All right, so I'm ready to go, dear. Give me a kiss. I'll follow the girls. They probably know more than I do.
I'm gonna walk down this way.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna catch up there because I want to follow what they're doing. Oh, there is the beautiful Colorado River. What a lovely day to hike. And so we're up. Here's all the rules for the hanging lake. Are you prepared? Grizzly bear area. I guess there's supposed to be grizzly bears here. The trailhead starts about a half a mile before you start, and it's alongside. You go along this trail, which is at the side of I-70 at the bottom of the canyon. It's called the Glenwood Canyon Bike and Pedestrian Trail. Oh, people go down here and fish. Maybe they can get down to fish because there's a little path right there. This is the opening day to go to this hike because of so much snow melt and flooding and wet areas. And we've had a colder winter too in some ways, so here, I think. And of course, we're in Colorado. And just stop and look at the beauty of it. There's a little storyboard about it. The journey through time. Talks about the native Indians and people that lived here years ago, many, many years ago. And this one is another storyboard about reading the landscape. Gorgeous area this is. I think this is about a quarter of a mile walk down here on this nice paved area before we actually get to the trail. We're not on the trail yet, but we will be soon. And I think it's supposed to get up in the 70s today. I'm up higher than, I think it's higher quite a little bit than it was back at Glenwood Springs, but we do have a little bit of wind. And here's a signboard about engineering Glenwood Canyon. The trail follows Dead Horse Creek, a tributary of the Colorado River. We're now going to start hiking to the canyon. The round trip, of course, is supposed to take about 3 hours. Well, actually, it took me 5. That's where we're going to go. There's where we're going to go. And then you get off and start on the trail, which of course is nothing but rocks, basically. And the path is quite narrow at times. I want you to see where I'm going, because this is a very steep trail. And then we're going to go clear on up to the hanging lake. But I am not going to have to turn off the phone because I cannot videotape and watch where my feet step on this trail because it's very rocky. So I'll turn it back on when we get up a little bit higher. The sign says portion burned area, and right over here is the brush and water to the side of me, and then the trail goes on up. So I wanted you to see we made it this far, and there's the side of the mountain up there, brush and water through the trees down there. Now there are 7 bridges to cross on the way. The bridges cross the creek, Dead Horse Creek, and they're well marked and numbered. Okay, there's where I come from, and there's where I'm going. I started my hike at 9 a.m. I had only eaten a muffin for breakfast, and I didn't want to overeat. Remember, there are no bathroom facilities. But I did take water and a couple of granola bars with me. Okay, here the trail goes on. Here's a little bench right here. This rock you can sit on. The rocks were placed for stair steps that were built for the trail were at least 15 to 18 inches tall. Now that was a very big step for me. I think the trail goes this way. Okay, we're coming to another bridge. There's the trail that goes on up that way. Come a quarter of a mile. Okay, the trail goes on up here. I underestimated the difficulty of the trail. The creek was overflowing onto the trail in a number of places. Now I had on good hiking boots that were basically watertight. Nevertheless, I was up to my knees in the flowing water several times. I lost my walking stick one time on the way up, and it started to float downstream, but a young man saw it and retrieved it for me. That man helped me. I lost my stick in the water, and he went and retrieved it for me. I'm not sure which bridge this is, but there's 7 bridges. So here's one. My feet are absolutely soaked. I've been wading in the water. Sometimes the trail was so narrow in a few places. And here at Bridge 5, 2 more to go.
Okay, I've made it to bridge number 6. This is the longest hike I've ever taken and walked through so much water and over so many stones. But it's a beautiful area. I think I have one more bridge to cross and we'll get to the hanging lake sometime.
In other places it was covered with some ice or snow. Okay, there's ice on the trail. Now we have ice. Oh, I've been through the water and now we go through the ice. Okay, we'll try to get through this now. All right, and there's bridge number 7. The scenery was beautiful and the day was gorgeous. It was in the 60s. The only rail that was provided was just before reaching the very top of the lake, and of course that was very steep, and everybody hung on to that. Yes, I made it to the top. It was really too much for my legs, which were still a bit weak after my back operation, which was not quite 6 months ago back in December.
I made it to the falls and to the hanging lake. And it's beautiful.
I knew the descent would be more difficult for me, and it was. For one thing, the thaw had increased, and more water was flowing across the trail in places. I made it down to Bridge 4, and then began to have problems. I slipped on a rock and fell again, landing on my seat bottom. But two fellows, a father and a son, as it turned out, saw the fall and asked if they could help me. I said, yes, please. I held on to the younger man for footing, stability, and balance. When we got to Bridge 3, the water flow was stronger, so he said, why don't you just jump on my back and we'll get through the water and some of this steep decline. So I did. At Bridge 1, we met the forest ranger coming to check the trail. He said they were going to close the trail at Bridge 3 because of the high water runoff. Also, TJ had walked that far to see if I was okay. Yes, I made it back safely, no harm done. The forest ranger said he was impressed that I made it to the top and not to be embarrassed by not making it all the way down without help. But of course I was embarrassed. Yet I was grateful for the help which I felt the Lord had sent to help me get back safely. I offered the men that had helped me some money, and I did that a couple of times, and so did TJ, but they absolutely refused it. It was a good lesson for me to not bite off more than I can chew. And I hope you enjoy this little bit of filming that I did do. And if you have the chance and you're in good physical shape and want to try it, I highly recommend it. It was fun and I enjoyed it. I just don't recommend it during the spring thaw and runoff. Well, thanks for watching. If you enjoy this, I would really ask that you would subscribe and hit the like button. And if you enjoy things like this, where there's a lot of scenery or hiking, or I tell you a bit about the area, please leave the comments below.